こんにちは、チャートマスターの根崎ゆきです。8月22日のセッションリキャップ取っていきたいと思います。よろしくお願いいたします。それでは始めていきましょ
う。This is a session recap for the 21st of August, the end of the New York session here. We're waiting for FOMC. Do not trade until after FOMC. You may get another mini New York session right after FOMC. Right? So, then look for these opportunities later tonight in Sydney, the Asian, or the London. We're looking for a pullback to the 50% area here, and maybe one more go up to here to create the head and shoulders. And then we're looking for a down. The trend.
ユーロドルですね、240分チャートからいきましょう。今、50% フィブまでのリトレースを見ています。で、ここで跳ね返ってきたらヘッド&ショルダーになるかもしれません。そしたら売りで見ていきたいですねと。
Has bent, so we're assuming that the top is already in place. It might be one more trade up to the 214 fib at 3,400. So the trade is a bounce on the 50% at 30.30, going up to 34.01. British pound. We're in a rising wedge, also at the top. All right. So pull this up. We're at a top, but not the top. The top is all the way up here. We don't know if this is a rising wedge or a channel. All right, so if it keeps coming down and bouncing up, and we get above this line right here, then we'll assume that it's a channel. We'll take the rising wedge off, and we'll trade it above 50.86 or call it 56.90. I traded above 5,700. 5,700 up to 57.54. Just 50 pips in here.
ポンドドルですね、240分です。で、ポンドドルはもう一昨日ぐらいからずっとやってるんですけども、ライジングウェッジというパターンですね。これ下がってくるパターンです。もしくはチャンネル、こっちの下の線でチャンネルになるかもしれません。なので、この青い線より上に上がってきたら、チャンネルということで買いでいきたいですね。つまり、1.5700 より上で買い。1.5700 より上で買い。ターゲットは 1.5750 ですね。
Pretty dangerous trade, folks. I would just kind of walk away from it. Dollar CAD has broken to the top, went right to the target and stopped dead. That was our target. Traders made about 40 pips on that last night. Nice job for all of you who did that. It is a double top now, as you can see. But it did break out of the wedge. So up to, let's go up a little higher and see what it looks like here on a day chart. So on a day chart, this definitely could be an up move. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, truncated 5. It's junky. Really junky here, right? But there's still an opportunity up in here if it continues to the upside. Let me go down to 240 now, and we'll see if we can put a trend on this thing. And see, the trend is very shallow. The trend is really shallow, but it is what it is. All right, so the opportunity is if we can get above this 104.50. We have a trade up to 104.92. Just 40 pips in there. There are better opportunities elsewhere, but there is 40 pips there.
ドルカナダ240分チャートですね。今もうスペースがここまでなんですけども、あと約40ピップぐらいしかないですね。で、今チャンネル新しく引きました。ベリーシャロー、すごく緩やかですねと。なので 1.0450 より上で買って 1.0497 まで買っていきたいですねと。
So we will market that there, you might want to take that trade. So 40 pips to the top, that is the top. That's a trend, a PSR, a 1270 fib, and the R4, all here at 104.92. All right, Swissy's at the top of the channel, and it's we're waiting to see if they'll put the head and shoulders in. Remember, we're looking for the same thing on, this is an inverse head and shoulders, so this goes opposite of the euro. So does it make sense that they'll put a right shoulder here and get the inverse head and shoulders going for the move to the upside, right? So that's possibly what happens. So when we get up here to the top, square up in here, we would take the one more trade down to the bottom. That's where the left shoulder is. That's where the right shoulder is. So from 92.49 back down to 91.89. Probably the last trade to the downside to do it.
ドルフランですね。ヘッド&ショルダーになるかもしれません。下がってきて、ここで止まったらヘッド&ショルダーですね。抜けてきたら売りたいです。跳ね返ってきたら買いたいですということですね。
Yes. Right. So we'll be looking for that up here. And to the downside. Right? Obviously, it could keep going, and there's a big opportunity down here, but that's going to exceed its ATR, so it's probably not going to happen. Hold on, let me shut this down. Alright, sorry. A little background noise there. Right. Over to the dollar yen. Dollar yen is testing a breakout right now. And hasn't done it yet, but it's testing a breakout to the upside. All right, lots going to happen at FOMC because it's got a dollar in it. Okay, so this could go either way. FOMC comes out and it's dollar negative, then we would see this trade coming to the downside. I wouldn't trade in here because you want to be below here. So there's the first trade and there's the second trade to the downside, down to here.
ドル円ですね。で、この安値割ってきたら売りたいですよねってことですね。1つ目、2つ目でデイチャートのボトムまで。
I got up targets on here right now, anticipating a breakout. If we get a break, hook, and go, we'll be looking for this target R4 first, and then back up to here. That's targets are all taken out, but we'll be looking for this move up here. All right, this is the day chart trend line, so be careful up in here. So we'll wait and see what happens at FOMC. Aussie dollar, we're out of the trend. Everything's waiting to see what FOMC is going to do. It's got a dollar in it, so they could easily bounce it right back up into the trend here, or they could keep it going to the downside. Now there's a problem with the downside one, and the downside is this: it's too steep. You see that? It's way too steep. I can't get a trend on here because it's too steep. So we may see a bounce up to do nothing more than put the trend in. See? So be careful of that, because there is no trend to the downside. It's too steep right now. So they need to move it up here and turn it up in here so they can get a trend on here. So
OG ドルですね。240分です。で、今トレンドブレイクしてきましたけども、戻ってきて売りかもしれないです。そうしたらチャンネルラインを新しく引きましょうと。
If you get a buy up in here, just be aware that maybe nothing more than a move up to get the trend on. So be careful of that. To the downside, however.
上がってくるとしたら、そのチャンネルを引き直すための新しい一点かもしれませんので、注意が必要ですねということですね。
You can see that we're looking for possibly this move right down here where we have a support right in here, 89.38. All right, so there really isn't much here, folks. There just isn't much here. Right? Not much. Really not much here. Yo yen. Yo yen is broken out of this downtrend. It's pretty well built. It's broken down and doing a sideways move. Okay, so let's take it down to 60 so we can see that. Right. A lot of fibs on here, but that's okay. So here's the old trend. We broke, we hooked, and then we went nowhere. We got a sideways move, which is the pole. We got in it from here, so we're going to look for it to come up to here. So there's a target up there, and it's
ユーロ円ですね。で、240分からの60分見ています。で、トレンドブレイクしてきて、フックしてきて、サイドウェイですね。ポールっていう形です。なので、ポールっていうのはここから入って横ばいになって、それと同じだけ上がる。なので、ターゲットはここですね。
618 fib extension, which would be 131.70, okay?
131.70、131円70銭が、ターゲットになります。
Now, really, the safe trade is not to trade it in here because you got all these wicks in this top. So make sure you're above 131.06 before you trade it. 131.06 and you're going up.
どこが一番エントリーとしていいかというと、131円6銭より上ですね。なぜかというと、たくさん冷えが出ていて超えられないからですね。これ超えてきたら買っていきたいよねと。
There's the opportunity there. All right. Pound yen. Pound yen is continuing to move. It's inside a channel. This makes a lot of sense. We are breaking out here. However, can everybody see the left shoulder and the right shoulder of the head and shoulders here? So what do you got to do? You have to negate you can't trade the head and shoulders. You got to trade above the head and shoulders. Make sure they're taking it out. It's no longer there. So you got to be above 153.30. The target is the day chart top up here at 153.88. So, about 58 pips there on the pound yen.
ポンド円ですね。ヘッド&ショルダーが見えています。なので、このヘッド&ショルダーを超えてこないと、買えないですね。153円30銭より上で買って、153円88銭がターゲットです。デイチャートのトップですね。
New Zealand dollar. New Zealand has broken out to the downside. Watch the Aussie and see what the New Zealand might do. We have broken out. We have a big opportunity here to the downside, however. And we don't want to miss this opportunity to the downside if it goes to the downside. So break these two twins bottoms, and we're looking to go down to 77.84. This is
キーウィドルですね、60分です。このツインキャンドルブレイクしてきたら7784まで打っていきたいですね。ここ大きなスペースなので逃したくないですと。
Now it's 78.82, so you can see it's 100 pips there right now. So that would be a great trade if we can get that on. Aussie yen also, just like that, it's got Aussie yen, so it's broken out of the trend also. But sticking down here, we got a descending wedge. That's a sell sign. Descending wedge is a sell sign. There's the opportunity right there. Do not miss that opportunity. It's a big one, and the AJ.
オージェンですね。ウェッジがあるので、これ下にブレイクしてきたら、このスペース逃したくないですね。取っていきたいです。打っていきたいですということです。
You can run it. So below 87.50, you want to trade it down first to the 270 fib at 86.74, and then you go down to this double bottom over here at 86.38. Has an ATR of 117 pips, so it can go 4 T30s. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can make that trade easily. Euro pound. We're waiting to see if we get a bounce here. We had one little bounce, and then weren't able to get all the sellers out. So it looks like they come down and get all the sell and get the rest, another pack of sellers out. And we're looking for the trade to the upside up in here. And you can see it on a day chart that that's really the trade. All right? Now it could break out and go to the downside. If it does, look at this mess right here, and that's where you're headed, into this mess right here. So does anybody want to trade that into there? I don't want to trade that into there. I do want to trade this area up here. I like this trade up here.
ユーロポンドですね。ここずっと横ばいになってますね。ここずっと抜けられないところです。なので、このデイチャートのトレンドブレイクしてきて、またここに入ってきたら、ここトレードしたくないですよね。それよりも上に買っていきたい。ここで見ていきたいと思います。
I don't like this trade down here. So, unless I get a buy, a break of the 85.60 up into this area, the first trade is right here, and the second trade is right here. Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie is topped out here, it's pulling back. It's got an unsustainable trend. We've got to pull it back a little further, and right now they're not going very low. So what we may see is a sideways move here, and then a break to the upside to the day chart top. 100 pips up here, so don't want to miss that. All right?
ユーロ時です。こう横ばいになってきたら、この上、デイチャートのトップまで100ピップありますので、これを取っていきたいねと。
So we are interested in that for sure. So let me check this out. Check this up. Above 4,900, going up to 4,961. Might not be too bad. After AFL, FOMC though. EuroCAD is in a sideways movement. We've already identified the target up there as above everything that we've got, right up in here. All right, so the first target is the R6 at 140.47, and up to this 40.72. Overall, it's going up to 4,100 if we get enough steam to do.
ユーロカナダですね。もうすでにこれ、買っていきたいところですと。で、ターゲットっていうのは一つ目は R6 の4047ですね。で、その上が4072。で、4100っていうところまで私たちは見ていますと。
Good. It is an unsustainable trend, so they do need to bring this down. They may bring it as low as here. They got two candles to square up here, all right? But they're close enough to the trend that they know they'll get it on the way down. So they may not square them up at all. But we're looking for them to pull back and then go to the upside. We will take the trade above 1.4 thousand, and we will take the pullback, and if you come all the way back down to here and to the top and bounce here. So all the way back to this top.
1.4000 1.4 thousand ですね。1.4 thousand ですね。1.4 thousand までより上で買っていきたいね。で、プルバックあるかもしれないですね。そうしたらこのレジスタンス強くなりそうなので、ここでも買いを意識したいです。もしかしたらこれもうスクエアップしてこないかもしれませんので、買いを見ていきたいですねと。
Down to here, that'll be a bottom and they'll bounce it. CAD yen, we're looking for them to continue to the downside here. There's not a lot of room here, as you can see, just a few pips. I would walk away from the CAD. But I would be interested in the bounce. All right? The reason for that is on the day chart, you can see that is the day chart bounce. See? That's where they bounced every time. They bounce there again, so they come down and hit that. You're going to look for the bounce.
カナダ円ですね。デイチャートです。このトレンドライン何回も跳ね返ってますので、またここ来たら跳ね返りを見ていきたいですねと。
To the upside, right? Because in reality, that would mean if it bounces, that this downtrend is gone. We're actually working the uptrend. Right? So we can't put it on yet because they haven't bounced. But if they start bouncing here, then the new trend will be this way. It'll be like this. See? On a 240, New trend would be something like this. Not here yet, so can't draw it. New Zealand yen, not much room left on the New Zealand yen to the downside. You can see that's just it. There's a lot of bottoms here. I wouldn't trade this with pips money. I'd walk away. All right, pound New Zealand, fantastic trade for us overnight. Just great. Still got 60 pips left up here, folks. So those of you in it, hold on to it. And we're getting a pullback. You know, they do this. You can see when they hit the top of the channel, they pull it back. Hit the top of the channel, they pull it back. Hit the top of the channel, they pull it back. So we'll wait for them to pull it back, and we'll take the trade again up to the top. All right.
ポンドキウイですね、60分です。これ昨日トレードアラート来てましたよね。セッションリーキャップでもやったと思います。買っていきましたよね。で、随分取れましたと。で、また跳ね返って、下降りてきて、チャンネルで跳ね返ったら買っていきたいね。デイチャートのトップまで買っていきたいねということですね。
So that's the trade right there after the pullback. So wait for the pullback. You can't trade at the top of a channel. All right, silver. Silver, we're waiting for them to bounce it and go to the upside. And if it comes out, if FOMC comes out with negative news, this will probably rock. This is an area where they've rocked it every single time. So once you get in that area, you're targeting 2437.
銀 XAG ですね。これニュースの発表の後に、ドルネガティブになったらすごくロックすると思いますということですね。すごく上がると思います。2437までですね。
Pound cheap. Right, we have a breakout here. Right, we don't know if it's a false breakout or not yet. So we're going to have to wait and see. We're looking for a break, hook, and go. If we get the hook back to the trend line and a go, then you can see we have two trades here. We have this trade right here, and then above it we got this trade right here. All right. Be hard to get through this mess right here. So move your stop tight. A break, hook, and go here. Double your position. So move your stop. Don't limit out. They could run a candle right through there. So.
ポンドフランですね。60分です。トレンドブレイクしてきたので、1つ目、2つ目っていう風に取っていきたいですね。ちゃんとブレイクフック&ゴーで買っていきたいと。
That's it. Pound Aussie. Pound Aussie also potentially in a rising wedge, as you see. And I'm just not liking it at all. And, there's lots of room to the upside, as you can see. There are no PSRs up there, so they're up in no man's land right now. I would be interested in the pullback if we get up. If they break the rising wedge to the downside, I'll wait for the pullback and then see if we can get the bounce somewhere back here where we have the support back up to the upside. That will take the rising wedge out of the market at that point.
ポンドオジですね。今、ライジングウェッジという形にあって、下げのパターンです。なので、一回リトレースが来てからの買いを見ていきたいですね。なぜなら、上のスペースがすごく広いからですね。上にはサポートレジスタンス全然ないので、すごく上がりそうな相場ですと。なので、一回リトレースしてからの買いを見ていきたいですねと。
Euro New Zealand, last one. We're in a channel to the upside, and we're going to try to continue to work this channel. All right. You know where the day chart top is up here. There's still plenty of room up there. You can see lots and lots of room. Take this down to a 60 now. So you can see we're working the channel up to the top. And they're definitely working. Every time they come over, they buy. Every time they get enough room to buy, they buy. And right down here, they got enough room to buy. So anytime right now, this could be a buy. So
ユーロ9位ですね。ユーロニュージーランドです。このチャンネルでずっと推移していて、また跳ね返っているところですね。今、また買っていきたいところですと。
Look for this up a little higher. Double your position above the 70.15. Target is 70.98, 7,100 basically. All right,
で、ターゲットは7100ですね。
everybody, that's it. I'll see all my fast trackers in about an hour or so. All right, talk to you later.
はい、というわけで今日のセッションリキャップここまでです。また明日も撮っていきたいと思います。それではどうもありがとうございました。失礼します。